Hey everybody, welcome to another film breakdown on our Cleveland Browns on cleveland.com YouTube channel with Lance Reisland. Today, we are going to take a closer look at Jerome Ford's big run early in the game, but not necessarily the run itself or the result of the run, but Lance is going to show you the Browns blocking scheme, how they kind of made life harder on themselves, but also how the Bengals made a mistake to help Jerome Ford break that run. All right, Lance, let's dig into this run game. Show us what happened on that play.
All right, let's take a look at the 66-yard run by Jerome Ford and what the Browns did, what the Bengals did. I'm actually going to show you that the Browns kind of made it hard on themselves. They had a missed block, and then the Bengals had terrible gap integrity. I'll show you how they had two in a gap. Then I'll show you how maybe the Browns could have blocked it to make their lives a lot easier by using better angles to get to the guys. All right, so let's take a look. This is called dart, where Fetty's going to pull around to the right. Now, again, I've said this before, but any way the play goes, that's how the offensive line calls the linebackers. So they're not looking who this is, if this is Pratt. That's not their thing. They're looking at where's everybody lined up. This guy's going to be in a wide five outside the tackle. He's far out, so wide five. You get a 2-eye, which is kind of like inside the guard, but he's a really tight 2-eye, we like to say, because he's tight to the center. So he could be a 2-eye, a gap player, or a shade, but to treat him the same. Then you have a 3 technique, which is outside the guard, Batonio. And then Henderson's going to be head up on Njoku. Again, like I said, the Browns are going to run dart against an over front. The key to this block is Pratt. Pratt's the backside linebacker who's going to scrape over top and try to make the play. So let's take a look at the blocking scheme here. All right, really easy. Conklin's going to block out. Teller's going to block down. Posick has the really hard block here to get the Pratt to number 2. Again, as I go over this play, regardless of the play here, these two guys, right guard, center, are in charge of these two guys. All right, so just remember that. So again, Posick's going to have to take a really good angle to get the Pratt. It's going to be hard though because that 2-eye is going to be in the way. Antonio's got a great angle on the 3 technique. They're actually going to leave because DTR is in the game. They're actually going to leave Hendrickson. They're going to arc Njoku, and if Henderson chases Ford, there'll be like a zone read where he's going to keep it, follow Njoku, right? So it's a double option here because DTR in the game. Now let's go through it here. All right, so I circled this because here's where the Browns are kind of messed up in my opinion, right? You're going to see Posick step straight ahead. Once Pratt knows that this play is going to his right, Posick has no chance to prevent Pratt from getting over the top. You're going to see Teller does a great job. You're going to see Conklin with a good bleach out. You see the number 1 block. Fetty's coming for the number 1 block. You see Njoku. You're going to see Hendrickson close here. But here's the issue. Now, 2 things are going to happen. One is it starts with the Browns. Maybe they make it hard on themselves right here because Posick has an impossible block to get the Pratt. Now, as this play comes around, you're going to see the key for the Bengals is this linebacker, the number 1 linebacker that Fetty comes from. This linebacker has to take it on with his right shoulder. If he takes it on with the right shoulder, Ford will have to cut back inside to Pratt. He doesn't. He takes it on with his left shoulder, which is going to leave a huge gap. Again, you're going to see Posick because Pratt recognized the play. Posick's going to miss this block. Now, as you can see here, the backer is here. He took it on. You can see Fetty blocking the left shoulder. You got Pratt both in this gap here. Obviously, Pratt misses the tackle here. Even regardless of that this guy is wrong, Pratt usually makes this tackle. Ford does a great job of breaking this tackle and getting a 66-yard run. All right, so now, here's my thought process when you go through this. I would think the Browns would want to ace this. And once again, rules for offensive linemen always say the same. So a double team between the center and the guard is called an ace block. Instead of making this a really hard block for Posick, I'm not sure why they just didn't call an ace, vertically to space this guy backwards, and then you see the great angle that Teller will have on Pratt. It's just a little thing, but a lot of these schemes that the Browns have caused them to have one guy left unblocked or one guy with a bad angle. Those are things they need to correct moving forward as they kind of determine their run game going into next season.